Tricia Cuthbertson is a longtime Jersey City resident, mortgage banker, and most importantly, mom. She joins me to talk about her experience in Jersey City and specifically in her neighborhood of Bergen-Lafayette.
So what do you love best about this neighborhood, Tricia?
I mean, I've been on this block for 20 plus years, so I only know this area, but it's changed so much since I've lived here. I mean, all these houses are being worked on and families are moving in. And, you know, I feel comfortable here. There's always something to do.
There's always something to do in Jersey.
There's always some place new that's opening. There's always people that say hi to. There's always somebody that you run into on the street, even though my kids probably hate that. They were like, put your head down, don't say anything. I like the community. I like being able to talk to people. So that's why I love living here for as long as I have.
And that kind of is the definition of community, right? It's for like people to be watching out for your kids and
absolutely, and vice versa. For kids, there's a lot of opportunity here. There's a lot of different schools. There's a lot of different recreation and activities. You get that whole experience of like city living has been really great for them.
Yeah, I think city living is great for everybody.
I agree. I love it here.
What's one of your favorite places to eat in Jersey City?
I really love Harry's Daughter because the owner is my neighbor, which is another thing. A lot of the restaurants down here are like the owners live here, which makes it even better.
That's great.
I love the food there. I love the vibe. It's a cool vibe. And, you know, I just love the owners, really. So I want to support my local places.
I was just saying how important like a neighborhood coffee shop really is in every single neighborhood, because as soon as a neighborhood coffee shop opens, people sort of like, that becomes the tether spot.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many more now. We have the Grind has two. Well, this Nourish just opened up.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's one over on closer to Johnston that I really, Lafayette, Cafe Lafayette is good.
Oh, yes.
It becomes like like another meeting point for like people around here that you run into.
Right.
You know, it's another place to just talk.
Right. Right.
And so I really love that.
This is such a prime example of the kind of neighborhood that just kind of sprung up.
Yeah.
That no one was really expecting. I think like people were expecting the Heights to come up a little bit before this neighborhood became so densely populated suddenly, and it just kind of happened overnight. Like 3 or 4 buildings open, and then...
Yeah, I mean, it just starts with 1 or 2, and then the next thing, we're close to Liberty State Park, we're close to the light rail, so we have accessibility to so much more.
Right.
And, you know, we're not really landlocked.
Yes,
you know,
and you're really close to downtown, too.
Downtown?
Yeah.
Like you can walk over the footbridge.
Correct.
You can take the bus down Pacific, take the light rail.
Yeah.
It's just, it is an accessible area.
So what have you seen recently in terms of new buyers coming into Jersey City?
I mean, there's a lot of buyers coming from Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, because it's getting so expensive there that they can get a little bit more over here. They're getting a little bit more for their money here. And so there's definitely been an influx of buyers that I've seen from, particularly on the other side of the water.
Nice. Do you feel like you have seen a slowdown even when the rates were up, which is not now, right? Like a year ago. Did you see a little bit of a slowdown in buyers?
I really didn't, only because we live in a very transient area. There's no slowing down here. People are in and out, in and out. They have kids, they move on. Another person comes in. So it's like, it just continues. So really, I haven't seen a slowdown. If anything, I've seen, you know, the fact there's not a lot of inventory, it actually makes it a lot harder. I mean, as a seller, you're not gonna sell your house at a 4% rate and move into something else that you're gonna get a 6 or even a 7 at the time. So it's keeping the inventory low. And buyers, there's a lot of buyers out there that can get first-time home buyer programs. They can get bond programs from the state. They can get closing cost money. There's a lot of incentives. So it just creates more buyers and less inventory equals higher prices. And I don't see it getting any better, at least for a little while.
Me neither. I say that to people all the time. I'm like, if you can afford now, you don't have to put 20% down. It may be competitive, but it's definitely worth getting into now because things are only increasing in price.
Yeah, I mean, I tell my clients, I'm like, you have to be comfortable with the payment for now, but you're not gonna keep this mortgage forever. You're gonna refi. Life changes, and so if you're okay with it now, then down the line it might be a little bit easier. So I mean, I think that little bit of a comfort level keeps people from straying away, because I really think things are going to be more expensive if the inventory stays where it is.
For sure, yeah. Which it's not scheduled to change, really.
No, I mean, the Fed is going to cut rates eventually. We thought it was going to be sooner, and it looks like it's going to be more towards the end of the summer.
I saw those numbers.
And so, I mean, that just, I don't know if it's created a little bit of a stir in buyers, but like my phone is definitely ringing.
Yeah, so is mine. I'm getting a lot of second home buyers that are actually have enough equity to basically purchase in cash. And I'm getting a lot of referrals from other states, people like moving here for work, which is actually really interesting. I think I got 3 referrals from other agents in other states this week.
Yeah.
So
I mean, because jobs are here.
jobs
too.
are always going to be
That's the other
here.
reason why we're transient.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I think that it's going to get a little bit more challenging as people, hopefully people put their places on the market a little bit more with like school ending.
Right.
That's normal.
Right.
But I still think it's going to be a challenge in terms of like the overall market shifting. Certainly a challenge, but it's also rewarding on the other side because, you know, properties are appreciating because of that.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that comes out of it that's positive.
Yeah.
People are seeing an increase in value because of the inventory. So
Right.
it's like supply and demand.
Right. And I think a lot of buyers are very misinformed by reading things on the internet right now, where there's just so much. Something popped up on my Instagram feed of an agent talking about like how to get deals on properties, and I don't think that it was at all related to this market. But I was just thinking to myself, I'm not really aware of anyone talking about markets that, you know, where it has now turned into a buyer's market and they're getting all of these like closing concessions from the sellers and all this stuff. It's just not happening. It hasn't happened here in a long time, and I don't foresee it happening here anytime soon.
No, I agree. There's no deal. You know, there are no deals, unfortunately. But, you know, again, I think for a lot of, you know, people that are okay with paying a little bit more, that they're actually going to be, in the end, it's going to be a positive thing for them.
Right.
But yeah, there's no deals.
Plus, if you're buying something that you're going to live in, you're buying something that you're going to live in for 7 to potentially 10 to 12 years at this point. You know, people aren't moving as quickly as they used to.
Right.
Which again is the lack of inventory on the market.
Right. Of course. Yeah.